it's Shawnee. Welcome back. So I have just been playing with makeup today, and I thought right now I would use some of my Lethal Cosmetics shades. I have a lot of their eyeshadow shades. Some of them I've gotten in like pre-made palettes. Some are from palettes that I've created myself. And typically when I'm like trying to recreate or dupe a palette, I use a lot of my Lethal shades. So they're just everywhere in terms of in the like palettes. They're kind of just everywhere. So I'm just gonna pull a couple of them that I kind of want to use. Maybe this one is called Mantis. This one is Covet, and then this one, which one is this one? Arcade. So those are ones that I immediately pulled out, but do I want to do that? As I drop stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna do something not super like mind-blowing. Because really what I want to do is I want to tell you these stories. Because I've been reading the news. Oh, wait a minute, though. This one is nice. Overdrive. Yes. That would just be taking it a whole different level. A whole different direction. I don't know. Yeah. So I was reading the news and just coming upon various stories that gave me pause. Well, first of all, I'm just talking about fun news, because there's other news that is going on that I'm like, that makes me angry, upset, and want to cry. So let me tell you, I don't even know which one to tell you. Okay, let me tell you about this lady in California, right? Shout out to my LA peeps. She's 93 years old, so go ahead, ma'am. Living that life, okay? We all wish we could. So I've already put on some primer. This is the Specular Primer from Davina, but I've been talking, so I'm just going to like tap it up a little bit. 93 years old. What's her name gonna be? Margaret? Because that was my grandmother's name, Granny. Margaret. So Margaret is at home. She has her own little home in LA, living her best 93-year-old life. And it seems to me like she lives alone, or people, you know, come and check on her. And her family is saying that she's got some early stage dementia. Not early onset, because I think that's like before 60, but just like in the earlier stages of it. And so sometimes I don't quite believe what she's saying, right? So I didn't believe her when Miss Margaret said that she was hearing noises like coming from the bottom of her house, like underneath her house. I think I'm going with this one. Covet. Let's see. So they don't believe Miss Margaret, right? They're like, Miss Margaret, like, girl, you don't be hearing nothing, right? You know, just dismissing her. Just dismissing her. We always dismissing the young and the old, right? So Miss Margaret is like, okay, I'm telling y'all. She like, I've been hearing it for like a couple weeks at this point. But all right. She hearing noises underneath her house. Don't nobody do nothing. So I guess one day the family is at Miss Margaret's house and they hear the noise. And they're like, huh, okay, we hear something too. Maybe Miss Margaret, you know, she still got some zhuzh up there. And Miss Margaret has said that, you know, initially she thought it sounded like animals. So the family is like, girl, you know what? It's probably just some like dogs or some wild animals under there. No big deal. Now, this is my first concern, because ain't no way I would just play, oh, it's no big deal. It's just like wild animals. No. Because if they got in under there, they can get in the front. Okay? I was just like, y'all, where y'all live? Because I don't know. First of all, it's not many places. Like, there aren't, like, basements and stuff in LA. Not really. At least not in the hood. Because, you know, are there? No. But it's like a crawl space. Anyway, She was like, yeah, it's like animal sounds. So they hear them and they're just like, okay, you know, no big deal. I guess don't nobody care about Miss Margaret, because I would have been like, man, we're going to get somebody to go on down there and see what's happening, okay? Because I'm not okay with leaving somebody with some animals hanging out underneath their house. Not paying no types of rent, okay? It reminds me of that story we talked about with the little girl who kept telling her parents that there were monsters in her room, and they were like, we just watched Monsters Inc., like, get over yourself. Then they open it up, it's like 50,000 bees, okay? She had a cute name, Dakota? I don't remember. Anyway, so then the family's at the house another day, because Miss Margaret has said it sounds like humans down there, okay? It sounds like human noises, a human voice. So it started to become louder and louder and louder while the family's there. And it seemed to be in response to them like walking around. You know, if you lived in an apartment and the person above you is just making so much noise, so you grab the broom and you're just like, you know what I mean? Y'all didn't do that? Anyway, so they're like, WTF, what is going on, honey? They call the police. They call the police show up. I'm guessing the police are like, dude, what's happening? It's probably just some wild animals, right? Honey, they look under that house, and that's where they found Isaac Bancroft, 27, naked, like the day he was born. Not a drop of clothing on him, just chilling underneath that house. And they were like, Isaac, buddy, you gotta come out of there. Isaac was like, the F I do. So they try to get him out. They threaten him with the dogs. Isaac is like, I'm literally chilling, not going anywhere. That's how Isaac is. And so then they had to like gas him out. They had to like tear gas him out. I really like this shade. I'll just keep putting a little bit on. I don't know. So, you see this video of Isaac on a stretcher, sitting right on up on a stretcher, and it's like 10 police and firefighters like just tending to him, I guess. And mind you, this is like 3 in the morning. So Miss Margaret couldn't even get back into her house until about 4 a.m. because all the smoke from the tear gas had to just like dissipate. So Isaac went on to the hospital. I don't know if he's like in custody for something or anything at this point. But when they told me that Isaac was living under that house for about 6 months, I'm sorry. 6 months? You been living under my house? 6 months y'all been ignoring Miss Margaret and what she's saying. For 6 months, ain't nobody just be like, let me go check under there. For 6 months, this joker has been living under this house, using resources, and then got the nerve to tap on the ceiling or on the floor, whatever, when y'all making too much noise. Isaac got real big, bad, and bold. First of all, if I was Miss Margaret, I would be like, I told y'all. Writing you out the will. And then for Isaac, I would like to know, Isaac, how you get so bold? Like, you were just like, y'all can threaten me with whatever you want to. Oh, my abs hurt from Pilates yesterday. When I read that, I was like, no, we're not going to play that game. We are not going to sit here and pretend that this is okay. It's not okay that y'all was like, whatever, Miss Margaret, ain't nobody down there. It's just like some animals. You could live with it. You could live with some wild animals under your house. And then, finally, when y'all started getting upset about it because somebody is, you know, hitting the broom, I don't even know, okay? I don't know. I don't know if he was talking to them and cussing them out. I don't even know if he had a broom in there. He definitely had food and blankets. Where he get that at? Where he get that stuff? Why he ain't had no clothes? You know what? No, it's That's his quote-unquote house. I guess he could be naked in it if he wants to. But I'm just sitting here like, all y'all are full of it. The only innocent person in this story is Miss Margaret. Because Isaac over here taking advantage of stuff. The family over here not even believing her, to the point where y'all ain't even gonna check it out, though. You just not gonna make sure that... Because not only were they just like, no, there's nothing there, but they were then like, it's probably just wild animals. Why are we okay with just leaving some like coyotes in somebody's basement? Like some mountain lions and stuff. They have those in California. I don't think they would be under a house, but you never know, okay? I feel so bad for Miss Margaret, and then I can't even get into my house until after 4 o'clock. Child, I have to go to bed at about 9:30 to actually function. Do I really do that? No, I should. But Miss Margaret out here at 4 in the morning, oh, I would be so done with all y'all. I would be so done, okay? Now, I'm done with that story, so let me move on to the next one. All right. Okay, I had to go get a snack. But I have another story. Like, I have them written down like I used to, right? Let me put on these reading glasses. I just want to make sure that I have all the details. Yep, I do. So this was in Memphis. Also, let me tell you these shades. This one is Frantic, and this one is Trespass. And I'm going to use maybe both of them to do some outer V shenanigans. So this was in Memphis, and the police get a call before 4 a.m. I don't know if that was 3:02. I don't know if that was 3:58. I don't know if it was 1:59. You know how the news is. Anyway, so they get a call. They get a call before 4 a.m. out to this man's house. Don't nothing good happen at that time of the hour. Nothing. Tell me something good that happened at 4 a.m. and not nasty. So they get there and they're trying to figure out what's going on. This man had called them, right? He had called them, and he was in his house, and his story. Now, first, I was like, this story's so stupid. I found it very entertaining, very funny. And then once I sat back and thought about it, I put my reading glasses on. I was like, wait a minute. This don't add up. This 2 and 2 is equaling like 7 rather than 4. So let me tell you the story. They didn't give him a name, so we need to... I'm not going to use that name because that's going to be shady to somebody. Brad? Chuck? Do I use Chuck a lot? Let's go with Chuck. I like a Chuck. So Chuck calls the police. They get there before 4 a.m. And Chuck tells them he has like a wound on his leg. Like his, I can't remember if it was calf or his thigh. His leg, right? Like a bullet grazed him. They're trying to figure out, like what? And they see a spent shell casing, just one. So Chuck's story is that he was in bed with the lady when his dog jumped on the bed, got his paw caught in the trigger, somehow hit the trigger. These are the words that they're using. And the man was grazed by a bullet. By the time the police got there, homegirl had already left with the gun. Now, at first, my focus was on, that's funny. If your animal is like, don't do this, then you know that person that you got in that bedroom is a no-go, okay? They are telling you something, okay? Animals don't be playing. If this this dog had the nerve to come all the way up in your bedroom and jump on that pillow or whatever, stop immediately. Stop in whatever you are doing. Stop. Because he said he was with a woman in a bed. So, who this woman? Hoppo, who this woman? If you know that reference, then you know. Who is this person that he was in the boudoir with, right? Ain't no names mentioned. It's Chuck, and we all know who the woman is that Chuck had up in there. So, as I read through the story, let's fill in the blanks, okay? Let's fill in the blanks. So first of all, to me, if she's gone with the gun, she's somebody that should not be up in your house. Why's she gone? There could be several reasons, okay? This is not his partner with whom he has been in a relationship with. This is someone who he's maybe not supposed to be seeing for some reason. I don't know, okay? This is... I don't know. Like, to me, if it were a partner or, you know, someone that you're with in a relationship, why would they go? I'd be like, why you leave me over here with a bullet graze? Like, you obviously don't care about me. Second of all, it had to be her gun, right? It had to be her gun. Now, if this was a first date, first kind of hookup thing, I think you should protect yourself. I don't know if that's why she had it. I don't know where she had it. But then, okay, let's say those are the two things that happened. Where was the gun situated? In such a way that this alleged dog allegedly hopped on the bed and shot it. Because I don't hear nothing else about the dog. I hear nothing else about where the dog at, Chuck. So, did she have the gun on the bed? Because they said the dog jumped up on the bed. So, they're not saying the nightstand. They're not saying the floor. On the bed? Then I moved to, what was y'all doing with that gun? What was y'all doing with a loaded firearm on the bed? What you doing in the bed? Like, Also, does Chuck even have a dog? Is there evidence of this dog? Is there evidence of this dog? Because now I'm like, as I think about it, I'm like, that don't make no kind of sense. So y'all not gonna check the dog out? Like, okay. Because this dog needs to be studied, right? Because somehow the dog has opposable thumbs. Because the dog jumped up and like pulled the trigger. I'm so confused. I am so confused. I have so many questions and they don't put Chuck's name in there. Maybe because they're like, this... This is the story y'all came up with. What I'm telling you is why people be doing stuff and you don't have a good reason behind it, you know? Like, I mean, people do stupid stuff, but if you're going to do it, have a good story. I don't know about this, like, there was a dog and, he had, like, jumped up on the bed and, like, somehow he, like, got his paw in the trigger thing and, like, pulled it and, like, shot me in the leg, kind of just, like, grazed. But, the gun and the lady who had the gun, like, she's gone. She's not here. He might as well have just gone to the emergency room himself, right? Well, I guess the police probably would have been called. I don't know. But that might be one of the dumbest stories I done ever heard. Like, how did we get here? How did we get here, Chuck? This story is just there are too many holes. Like, it's so damn holy. Like, where the lady at? Who was this? To whom was this gun registered? Like, maybe she shot him because he was doing stuff. I don't know. It just seems like a very interesting situation. And this is what he really, really told y'all? And that's what y'all put in the police report? Because it's just not adding up. Like, the numbers are not adding up. I'm coming up with a different answer from what it should be. Oh my gosh. Stop this right now. You stop it, Chuck. Chuck said this is a story we're gonna stick to. We're gonna blame it on the dog. Go borrow the neighbor's dog. He ain't even got a dog. How you gonna put it on the dog
dog. How rude, okay? And you ain't closed the door. Like, there are so many close the door. Why is it? Stop. Who? You know what? I should set up some kind of hotline where people can call me and we'll come up with a viable story. Because the shenanigans I read about that are already foolish, but then the stories people come up with to explain the foolishness, there's just a whole lot of nonsense. Literally nonsense. I'm not going to keep you. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face. And I'm going to come back and wrap it up. So here's the finished look. I feel like it's sort of a classic me kind of look. I always love Lethal Cosmetics singles or palettes. Let me know what of theirs you have and that you like. I also have some of their face powders that I use for blush and highlight and bronzer. So they just have a lot of stuff that I enjoy. Always pretty consistent in my experience. Anyways, I believe that's it. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. Let me know what you think about Miss Margaret and her unwelcomed, unwanted guest lodger, and what you think about Chuck and the shenanigans that happened with him in Memphis. Anyways, I would love it if you like the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.